everybody, this is Sky. And when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Hey, this is EAJ Man from Autopsy Live and the Skype Pirates. When I want to make it look like I give a shit about sports, I tune into Sports World Radio with Jeff Escow.
Jeff
Doing my time. Doing my time. Got myself a problem.
Looking for
the inside track on everything sports? You've come to the right place. Welcome to Sports World Radio, the fastest 2 hours of sports talk on the internet with your hosts, Jeff Escow and Sean Mann.
Hey, welcome to Sports World Radio. How's everybody doing? Glad you could be here. We're going to have a lot of fun today. There's a lot of stuff to get to here in the sports world, and we're going to get to all of it as fast as we can. That's why this is the fastest 2 hours of sports talk on the internet. My name is Jeff Escow. I am the host of Sports World Radio. We do this show each and every Monday through Friday, 6 o'clock on the East, 3 o'clock on the West, and if you live in the Central,
5 p.m.
Oh, man, that's not right. 5 p.m. That is right, but that's not what you're supposed to say. That voice right there, we'll tell you who that is in just a minute. Let's get all the particulars out of the way, and then we'll start off with the show. Jam-packed one today. Man, we're going to have a lot of fun. There's many ways to get in touch with us here on Sports World Radio. Let me tell you the ways to do that. Head on over to our Facebook page at facebook.com/SportsWorldRadio. That's facebook.com/SportsWorldRadio. Like our Facebook page, pinned right to the top of our Facebook page, we have a petition to get me into a sports debate with Skip Bayless. So head on over there, like our Facebook page, and sign our petition. You can also follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/SportsWorldRadio. That's twitter.com/SportsWorldRadio. You can also send us an email at swrshow@gmail.com. That's swrshow@gmail.com. Come and hang out in our chat room at sportsworldradio.com. sportsworldradio.com. Just click on the button there, scroll down, and it's right there underneath the chat room. Boom, bang, boom, you're right in the chat room. I'm monitoring that one over there. And, of course, you can hang out in our chat room over at Spreaker.com as well. If you don't have an account, sign up, get one free, or just come on over to sportsworldradio.com. You don't need an account. You can sign up with your Facebook and log in with your Facebook or your Twitter, and bada bing, bada boom, you can be chatting away on our Sports World Radio page. With all that being said, what do you say? Hey, we bring in the co-host, Josh Lopez. What's up, buddy?
What's up, Jeff? How you doing today?
Good, pal. How are you?
Welcome, everybody, to Sports World Radio here on a Tuesday, September 22nd. Right now is 77 degrees here in the Windy City, mostly cloudy, kind of dampy day, but there's a nice breeze out, so I can't complain about that. It is kind of windy out here. How's things out there in lovely San Diego?
Sunny San Diego. It's sunny today, man. You got to like that. About freaking time it's sunny here in San Diego. We had a couple of days where it was cloudy, man. I wasn't too thrilled with it at all.
Yeah, technology has not been a good friend to Sports World Radio for the past week.
No, we had problems with the encoder last week, and yesterday, there was no show yesterday because Skype was down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Skype was down, so we couldn't do the show at all yesterday, but Skype is back up and running worldwide again. All the millions and billions of folks are back up, and we're here doing the show, and we're going to have some fun today with you. Got a lot to get to, don't we? We got a Derek Laughlin coming in at the bottom of the hour today. He's the co-owner and senior NFL writer for Fantasy Football Maniacs. He's coming on in. We're going to talk some fantasy football with Derek Laughlin at the bottom of the hour. That should be fun, huh, Josh?
Yeah, a little something different. You know, when it comes to sports fans, of course, they love listening to sports talk radio, but there is a lot of sports fans that love being part of the fantasy football leagues, pick-em leagues like we have at Sports World Radio, where me and you are not doing so well. But before we get to the football games, there's some big things on the horizon for one Mr. Jeff Escow this week. Tell us, I think there's a big holiday for yours truly coming up, right?
Yeah, we got, there's a holiday starting at sundown for all you Jewish folks out there in the world. Mm-hmm. There's a holiday starting at sundown, the highest holiday of the year for the Jewish folks. Yom Kippur starts at sundown and goes from sundown to sunset the next day, where you will be fasting, no TV, no washing, no brushing your teeth, no drinking anything pretty much just laying around.
It's called very unique holiday, isn't it?
Yeah, it's called the Day of Atonement, where you fast and you get rid of all your sins in one day. Pretty much, it's called the Day of Atonement, and so there will be. I'm telling you what, I don't care. We're doing a show tomorrow anyway. Okay, it doesn't matter to me. We're doing a show tomorrow. But what really bothered me really a lot today, I was watching TV.
Uh-oh.
Okay, and I'm Jewish. Okay, you people know that. People have been listening to me long enough to know that. And I'm watching TV, and all of a sudden, breaking news. Interrupt my TV show for breaking news. And what do I see? The Pope is landing.
Well, come on, Jeff. He's a religious hero. He's the Pope.
I don't give a flying fig Newton. I'm Jewish. I don't care. Okay? I don't hear them breaking news. We want to give all our Jewish listeners wish them a happy Yom Kippur. I don't see them saying anything on TV. Nothing about it. Freaking racist bastards.
Oh, man.
I don't know. No, I don't see them doing anything for that. But the Pope is landing? Who cares? Who gives a flying fig Newton?
Hey, let's say that...
landing. Who cares?
Let's say like a kid or an adult or a teenager come up to your steps for Halloween. It's coming next month. It's going to be before you know it, Jeff. What if somebody's dressed like the Pope? And hey, Mr. Escal, do you have any candy for us?
I'm not answering the door.
Oh, my God.
The light's going to be out. There's going to be no lights on in the house. We don't get people coming knock. I haven't had a child knock on our door on Halloween in 4 years.
Oh, man.
How great is that?
Well, you do live close by a church, right?
Yeah, I live right next to the church. Yeah. They were jamming out the other night, man. Saturday night. They had a band in there. They were jamming out. It was like 12 o'clock, and they were still rocking. I was like, holy freaking moly, man.
Holy freaking Toledo.
Yeah.
Out of your cat
I was like, check it out. The church is rocking out after 11 o'clock when they're supposed to be quiet. What's going on here?
With any Sports World radio show, we are equal opportunity ripper, and there's a lot of people that we do need to rip on today.
Look at Shaba. Shaba's in the house. Welcome, Shaba. Most people don't give me any new news at all about what they call breaking news anymore. Hey, guys. I love that. He gives his opinion, and then he says, hey, guys. He does that all the time. I love that about Shaba. Hey, Shaba, we got to talk, dude. You got a serious problem over there in New Orleans, but we'll get to that later on.
Let's start off with the big news. Tony Romo out with a broken clavicle for 8 weeks. He suffered an injury on a sack against the Philadelphia Eagles this past Sunday on Fox.
It just hit me. That's why the Pope is in America.
Oh, no.
He's come here to heal Tony Romo. That's why he's here. Oh, man, he's come here to heal Tony Romo. He's going to put his arm on his shoulder, and boom, he's going to be miraculously healed.
Yeah, he's also here to make Tim Tebow a good quarterback.
There's no way Tim Tebow is going to be on that team.
Well, not only is Tim Tebow rumored to come to the Dallas Cowboys, Terrell Owens came out today on USA Today and also mentioned that he told his agent to reach out to Cowboys if they're interested in his services.
And what the Cowboys do? Laugh at him? Just like they did Tony Romo? I mean, just like they did Tim Tebow?
T.O. is 41 years old, and he has not played in the NFL since he played for the Cincinnati Bengals, actually.
Correct. Correctamundo, my friend.
Yeah, so the Cowboys won despite that this past Sunday night to the demise of all of us here at Sports World Radio. The Cowgirls won 20-10. The Cowboys are now 2-0, and the Philadelphia Eagles offense looks pathetic.
Hey, Mr. Ryan Blazing in the house over there on SportsWorldRadio.com. What's up, buddy? How you doing, pal? No. See, Josh, deep down inside, he really loves the show.
Mm-hmm.
He does. deep down inside, he really loves the show because he shows up. So thank you so much for showing up there, Mr. Ryan. Hey, at least you're not in last place no more in the Pick'em League. Oh, actually, you know what? You're in dead last place in the Pick'em League now. Before you were in second to last place.
It makes sense when he doesn't make a pick like the coward that he is.
I know, the coward that he is. Exactly right. I sucked this week, dude. I'm bad.
I'm bad.
I'm bad.
I don't get what the hell's going on. I mean, we won't go through every single game. We just don't have enough time like we would have had yesterday's show. But the Browns won. The Jaguars won. Oh, by the way, for you and Sean, hey, I was the only one here that got the Cleveland Browns right, you freaking hump.
I can't believe that. Hey, how happy. I bet you yesterday when Nash saw that the Jags won, I bet you there was a big-ass smile on his face. and I want to say hello to all Nash's family that is listening right now. Hello, Nash's family.
Welcome to Sports World Radio.
Yeah, that's hysterical because Nash and I have a bet, a steak dinner bet. He says that Jags are gonna go 8-8, and I say they ain't going 8-8. They're gonna be worse than that.
Well, the Jacksonville Jaguars traveled to New England against the New England Patriots, so we'll talk about that NFL Real Talk on Saturday.
Yeah, they'll be 1-2 after this weekend.
Absolutely. And then one of the other upsets of the week, the Oakland Raiders defeat the Baltimore Ravens.
Unstinking believable, man. What the hell's going on here?
I don't know. I think it's Mark Trestman becoming the offensive coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens.
I got freaking 3 games right.
3?
That was it.
I had 6.
I got 3. I 3 games right. I sucked.
This also brings in a good transition to last night's game. The New York Jets traveled inside Lucas Oil Stadium and defeated the Indianapolis Colts 20-7.
You didn't watch that game?
No, I did not watch that game. I had more important things to watch than that game.
I didn't watch that game neither.
But how about that, though? You know, the Colts had one of the best offenses in football last year. Now they could barely score a point at home against the Jets.
I know. What's going on here?
We got to talk about that with Frank. He's our Indiana.
Bumblebee, Indiana.
Yeah, he's our correspondent from Indiana.
Yeah, Frank Sprankle will be on at the top of the hour.
Yeah, so besides that, what other football did you watch over the weekend, Jeff?
I watched the Chargers lose to Cincinnati.
Yeah,
I told you. What did I tell you on Saturday night? What did I tell you on Saturday night?
You told me that the Chargers are going to win, actually.
Correct, but what did I say after I picked the Chargers?
I forgot.
Watch Cincinnati win the game.
Uh-huh.
Right? And boom.
Well, you're in a perplexed perspective because you got a man fetish for Andy Dalton.
No, it's not a man.
You think he's the greatest thing since sliced bread.
I never said that. I've never said that, and it's not a man. What did you say?
Fetish.
It's not a man fetish. It's not a man fetish. It's a man bromance. Crush. It's a bromance.
Uh-huh.
Not a man fetish.
Either way, Andy Dalton still has a lot to prove to me before I could call him a credible quarterback.
Well, he plays better during the season than he does in the playoffs.
Yes, I'll give you that. He does have a lot of great stats, but it doesn't show in the offseason.
Well,
and then the postseason.
Well, let me ask you this.
Okay.
With all the 0-2 teams out there, and there's a lot of them,
mm-hmm.
Correct?
Correct.
1 or 2 of them are going to make the playoffs, probably.
Yeah, most likely.
Right?
It's still early, however.
Right, but figure 1 or 2 of them are going to make the playoffs, correct?
Correct.
Which 2 are going to make the playoffs out of all the 0-2 teams?
Oh, God.
How about that?
Obviously, Seattle may be a good opposition, but I'm not sure because 1 week St. Louis beats the Seahawks, and then they get blown out by the Washington Redskins next week.
I don't get that. I don't get that.
I don't get that either. That really pissed me off on Sunday.
I don't understand that at all.
even as a Bears fan, like I know the Bears weren't going to make the playoffs this year, but I think they would be better than last year. Cutler's out for 2 weeks with a hamstring injury. Everybody's losing their you-know-what because Chicago's known for having bandwagon sports fans, but I don't need to get into that right now.
Tony Romo's down. That makes me so happy.
All these divisions are horrible.
I was 1 week off with Tony Romo.
And it's,
1 week off. I said he was going to be out in week 3. It happened in week 2. I was 1 week off. Give me some freaking credit, for Christ's sakes.
You know you're in the stat state of affairs in the AFC South when the Jacksonville Jaguars are leading the AFC South. Yeah. The Houston Texans are 0-2. Of course,
Colts are 0-2.
Yep. Giants are 0-2. They lost to the Falcons at home in their home opener.
Yeah, I know. Please believe me. And not only that, the Giants are playing the Redskins this Thursday night. Correct? Yeah. And
correct.
Before the football game on this show, this Thursday night, we're going to have Washington Post's sports blogger, Scott Allen. He's been on the show before.
No.
Yes, we're going to talk Washington Redskins football, and I can almost guarantee you we'll be talking about that particular game Thursday night.
Yeah, you want a good lead-in for that Thursday night game with the Redskins and Giants? Tune into Sports World Radio on Thursday. The only place to listen to it.
It's the sports show for real sports fans.
Correct. Now, speaking of real sports fans, we have a great sports fan in the chat room who always supports us here at Sports World Radio, and his name is Shaba. And last week, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers got blown up by Marcus Mariota. This week, however, the Buccaneers head into New Orleans and defeat Drew Brees in the Superdome in New Orleans, and now the New Orleans Saints are now 0-2.
Way to go, Shaba. What the hell's going on with your team, dude? And now Drew Brees might be done for a while?
It said a couple games, but I don't think he's out for a significant amount of time.
That's not good.
But he is injured, however.
Who's their backup?
I'll look right now. I just think it's odd, It's like 1 year the Saints look like they're going to be back into contention for the NFC Championship game, and then they go downhill after that.
I can't pick them next week.
I can't either.
I'm sorry, Shaba.
His backup quarterbacks are Garrett Grayson, who's a rookie from Colorado State, and also Luke McCown. The brother of Josh McCown.
Luke
the
McCown.
Browns.
You're gonna put the fate of your team in Luke McCown's hands?
Yeah.
Oh my God! How many teams are looking for quarterbacks right now? And none of them. And how many teams are looking for quarterbacks? And none of them are asking Tim Tebow. What does that say? What does that say? It says the same thing I've been saying since he went to the draft. He is not an NFL quarterback.
I know the preseason is preseason, but he actually looked effective in that system more than any of the quarterbacks that are on the Philadelphia Eagles right now. I mean,
yes, because
everybody thought Sam Bradford was going to have this great comeback story, but he's a horrible quarterback.
That's because he was playing with freaking third stringers, man. You could look good against third stringers.
Good point. I'll give you that.
Okay.
But still, Chip Kelly's an idiot. He gets 4 quarterbacks in the offseason, and they all suck.
Well, that's Chip Kelly. That's Chip Kelly for you.
The fact that the Washington Redskins are number 2 in the NFC East makes me want to throw up.
Yeah, you know something? I'm so glad Gary One Arm is not here.
Yeah, I know, right?
Because then we'd have to listen to that. And I really
look at Shaba Breeze will play if he has to use his cyborg body instead of his regular.
I'm hoping Gary One Arm shows up for Thursday's show when we have Scott Allen on again from the Washington Post.
Scott Allen. Before we head to that first commercial break, and we have
Derek
Laughlin. Yep, for Fantasy Football Maniacs. We had a Ryan Stick of Blazing update, and I wanted to say that after we ran over a couple of games here. So Ryan Stick of Blazing had a quote for you, Jeff, on Monday. He said that Skip Bayless makes you look like amateur hour.
Skip Bayless is an amateur.
No, he said that Skip Bayless makes you, Jeff Escott, look like amateur.
Yeah, lots of luck. That guy's a Tony Romo freaking homo fan, and look what happened. Okay? And he's got no excuse. Look what happened.
Yep.
It's Tony Romo's fault for doing what he did. You can't blame nobody else.
Ryan Stickblazy said that Brandon Whedon will do a great job replacing Tony Romo.
You're another cowboy lover, aren't you? Just go over there to Jerry Jones's poll, will you?
Oh, no. We all know about the poll.
You and Skip can ride the pole together.
Oh, God. Oh, also, by the way, Ryan Stickblazing said that he feels that Jerry Jones is the most underappreciated sports authority figure in the history of sports.
Yeah, that's one man's opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And it stinks to high heaven.
Well, come on, Jeff. He has longevity. He loves his Dallas Cowboys football.
When was the last time they won a Super Bowl, bitch?
Almost 2 decades.
Okay, then. That's all I got to say. That's it.
That's all you need to say.
That's all I need to say. What have you done for me lately? Let me ask you a question, because then he's going to throw, well, what about the Giants? I hate to tell you something. The Giants won a Super Bowl a lot sooner than the Cowboys have. Right?
Correct.
When was the last time the Giants won a Super Bowl? 2011?
4 years ago. Yeah.
2000?
4 years ago.
Huh? 4 years ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
When was the last time the Cowboys won a Super Bowl? I rest my case, Skippy.
Skippy. Good. Okie dokie. So, other games, I was looking over the week of football games, and a lot of them were boring. None of them were interesting. I mean, the Lions and Vikings, the Jaguars and Dolphins, Bengals and Chargers.
I watched that game. That's the game I had in the morning. So I got stuck watching.
I didn't watch the Seahawks-Packers game. I caught towards the end of it.
And that was really the only game I watched all weekend long.
Mm-hmm. And then this week on Monday Night Football is Kansas City against Green Bay. And look at this interesting Sunday Night Football action for you, Jeff. We got the Detroit Lions at home against the Denver Broncos.
Oh, God, I hope. And Detroit's 0-2, right?
Yeah, they are 0-2, actually. And they look bad.
Yeah.
Really bad.
Man. I'd like to see Detroit get their first win against Denver, though.
Yeah. You still going out with that bet? As long as Peyton Manning's in Denver, they'll never win a Super Bowl.
Yes, I've been right for the last 3 years, haven't I?
Yes, you have been correct.
Okay, so I'm up $15, man. Right? I made a 5-year bet with somebody. The whole length of Peyton Manning's contract. So far, I'm winning. You know what's going to happen? I'm going to donate that money to charity.
Speaking of people who need charity or emotional support after this football season, it's Pittsburgh. The Pittsburgh Steelers blew out the San Francisco 49ers, and I'm surprised Wes is not in the chat room blasting us about how great their offense is. But hey, it's week 2. No, it's week 3 right now. They're taking on the Rams on Sunday. So, hey, Steelers, can you win on the road this time?
I'm surprised he's not in here blasting us about the Steelers and the Pirates. I really am.
He'll be here before you know it, probably.
I really am, because stinking Pirates are winning.
Yeah, that's kind of getting me mad, too.
Yeah, it's kind of getting me mad, too. And then the Steelers won. So, hey, the season's young for football. We'll see what happens. Hey,
it's the Colorado Rockies, though. I mean, come on.
Yeah, true. I know, it's true. Saints played Cowboys this weekend?
Do they? Let me look right now. The New Orleans Saints are 0-2 right now.
Yes. 0-2 for the...
Yeah. No, actually, they take on... They're in Carolina this weekend.
Saints are?
Yeah, the Saints are in Carolina this weekend, and they take on Dallas next week.
Ooh. Who's Dallas play this week?
Dallas. The Dallas Cowgirls are at... they're at home against the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons are looking pretty impressive so far.
Falcons are 2-0.
Yeah, and against the NFC East, by the way. They beat the Eagles and they beat the Giants.
So now they go into Dallas and beat the Cowboys?
Make it trifecta. Why
Make it
not?
a trifecta, yeah, sure. And give the Cowboys their first loss and shut some people up for
Yeah,
so many
exactly.
cricket sakes. So then,
Like Stephen A.
so
Smith.
Cowboys have Falcons, they have Saints, and then they have
The Patriots.
Oh, man. Yeah.
In the bye week, and then they're in New York against the Giants, Seattle, and then Philadelphia.
Oh. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They could be freaking 2-6 by the time Romo comes back.
Loss.
That would be awesome.
And in any case, they could be probably 2-11 by the time Des Bryant comes back.
That would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
They could be even 2-7 by the time Romo comes back.
You never know.
I would love to see that. Shut some Cowboy fans up. And then they're going to end up to be 8-8 because that's the only thing they can do.
Yeah, we'll get Smokey Ronnie out here. We'll get your nephew Ronnie.
Yeah, we'll get them all out here.
Nicholas.
I just need the Cowboys to lose one game. Their undefeated season's gone. Smoking Ronnie's bet is over with.
Well, you don't feel bad for the Cowboys? Well, come on, Jeff. Tony Romo got hurt.
I'm happy. I told you he was going to get hurt. I thought it was going to be this week, though. I was off by one stinking week.
It was only a matter of time, right?
Yes, it was only a matter of time because that's the way it is for him and his NFL career. Okay?
Yeah.
You know who's next?
Who?
Adrian Peterson.
Speaking of Adrian Peterson, he was fumbling the football a couple of times against the Lions this weekend, despite the Vikings winning at home.
That's who's going to be next.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just telling you right now. That's who's going to be next. Hey, we're going to run.
Go ahead.
You want to run? Let's run to our first commercial break.
Let's do it.
All right. We're going to run to our first commercial break. You're listening to Jeff Escow and Josh Lopez on
Sports World Radio.
We'll be right back.
Storms move fast, so we use the best technology. That includes Bosch Icon wiper blades.
They're beam blades with memory tension springs and an aerodynamic design,
which means they fit the curve of the windshield. Bosch Icon wiper blades wiped our windshield clean and outlasted any other blade we've used. In my opinion, the Bosch Icon wiper blades are the best blades out there. Bosch Icon wiper blades, how storm chasers clear the way.
Did you know that just 30 minutes a day of physical activity can improve your health and decrease your risk of heart disease? For every hour of regular, vigorous exercise, you gain 2 hours of life expectancy. So start walking for yourself and for your heart. Start walking with your family. You'll feel better. Start walking in your community. You'll lead happier and healthier lives. Start walking. Start something. Join the movement today. For more information on the American Heart Association START program, visit startwalkingnow.org and start walking. Start something.
What kind of person gets to work in the sunshine instead of an office? This kind of person. I am the new way to work. I do have an office. I'm just not chained to it. It's a Regis office at one of the nicest addresses in the city. I don't have a lease, so I don't have to budget for stuff like phones, IT guys, and artwork for the lobby. Instead, I pay one low monthly rate that gives me a beautiful lobby that impresses my clients, a friendly receptionist, a fully furnished office, a place to meet, and a place to brainstorm with my fellow New Way to Workers. We wonder why more people don't realize that the new way to work is the best way to work. I come here because I want to, not because I have to. I am the new way to work, and I'd like you to join me.
Start now and get 1 month free. Call 1-800-OFFICES or visit regis.com/TV.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
All I want is to be loved.
All right, welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Escow, Josh Lopez, bringing you the fastest 2 hours of sports talk each and every Monday through Friday, 6 o'clock on the East, 3 o'clock on the West, and if you live in the Central,
5 p.m.
That's right, right here on SportsWorldRadio.com. All right, as we promised, joining us now here on Sports World Radio, Derek Laughlin, co-owner and senior NFL writer for Fantasy Football Maniacs. Derek, thank you for spending some time here with us on Sports World Radio. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to talk football with you guys.
So lots of injuries happening in the NFL, and I wanted to get your thoughts on the different strategies now, what's going to happen in fantasy football. Say Tony Romo's down. What does that mean for the fantasy football players, and what do you think they should do with their teams?
Well, I think the first thing it means is don't add Brandon Whedon. I think that's a given right now. Just because Des Bryant isn't there. If Des Bryant was healthy, I think Brandon Whedon might actually be worth a flyer just because he'd be playing with a receiver like that. But with no Des Bryant there, there's not a lot of upside. So I think that Romo owners are going to either have to hope they drafted a good quarterback to pair with him, or they're going to have to play the waiver wire. And a guy I liked, I don't know if you guys saw how well Derek Carr played this weekend, but that's a guy that I think should be on fantasy teams.
What would you, Derek? What would you say would be the worst position so far as fantasy's going at this moment in the regular season?
What's been the worst in the regular season for what?
No. Which position, as far as fantasy points is concerned, is the worst right now in the NFL?
The worst division. I think the NFC South has not been very good because Tampa has, they got off to a horrible start this year. New Orleans isn't playing up to potential, and Carolina had a lot of injuries at wide receiver. That's been a pretty bad division for fantasy. I think Atlanta has really been the only team that's played up to expectations with Matt Ryan and Julio Jones.
Speaking of former NFC South players, Jimmy Graham was a big gift for fantasy players for the past couple of seasons. Now he's with Seattle. Seattle's now 0-2. Do you think he was a viable first-round option, or you think that he wasn't a good return of investment for fantasy pickers?
I thought he was overrated the entire season because Pete Carroll is somebody that really doesn't utilize the tight end. And I think people thought that he was just going to get plugged into that offense and do exactly what he did in New Orleans. But that being said, I also think that there is a learning curve of integrating him into that offense. And I think it's going to get better than 2 targets for 11 yards. And I think he is going to be a touchdown machine as the season goes on. He's just not going to be that guy that competed with Gronk for the top tight end.
Derek Laughlin joining us here on Sports World Radio, co-owner and senior NFL writer for Fantasy Football Maniacs, joining us here on Sports World Radio. Derek, right now in fantasy football, with all the injuries going on, with all the quarterback injuries that are happening, who would you, as a newbie going into fantasy football, playing fantasy football, who would you take a flyer on as a quarterback?
Like I said, Derek Carr, I think, is a guy that has an excellent chance to have value. I'm not a real big fan of Kirk Cousins just because Washington seems like they're running the ball so much that that's kind of place to go. And like I said, I didn't think Brandon Whedon would be good either. But Derek Carr, I think, is probably the best one. Him and Carson Palmer is available in a lot of leagues, and he's got off to a fast start. But they did play the Bears and they played the Saints, so I'm not sure how he's going to do once they get into the meat of their schedule.
You brought up Carson Palmer, and besides him, who do you think has been the real surprise so far in the NFL season?
I mean, as far as a disappointment goes, I've been very surprised at how badly Andrew Luck and the Colts have done. That's an offense that you thought was just going to be loaded with fantasy superstars, and Andre Johnson has not performed. Frank Gore hasn't done much. Luck's got off to a slow start. That's probably the biggest surprise to me.
We were talking before we came back on air, Derek, that we found out that you're a big Packer fan. I think James Jones has probably been the early steal of the year so far, right?
He's been a big surprise, too. But the thing is, the last time he was there, I think it was a couple of years ago, he did have 14 touchdowns. And since Jermichael Finley was injured and hasn't been with the team, they really haven't had that tight end red zone threat. And James Jones has basically filled that role. I'm a little surprised that he has as many touchdowns as he does so far. But seeing they really didn't add a tight end, it's not surprising that Rodgers has gone back to somebody he's got a good deal of comfort with.
Now, let's move on from fantasy to current football right now. We have a lot of current 0-2 teams that kind of caught me off guard. I mean, you got the Saints, you got the Seahawks, you got the Colts, obviously. Out of those teams, which one do you think would make the playoffs? And is there any concern for those particular teams as far as the season going forward?
Well, the two that I think are the safest are going to be the Seahawks and the Colts. With the Seahawks, they never do well in St. Louis. I think they've lost 3 of the last 4 years there. And then Aaron Rodgers, I believe, is 37-3 at home in his last 40 starts. They just had a difficult start to the season, and I think once they get home and start playing easier teams, they'll be fine. And then the Colts, they're in the AFC South. Houston, Jacksonville, and Tennessee don't have good quarterback play. But I think what this start to the season is showing is that they're probably not going to be a number 1 or number 2 seed, and that's going to really hurt their chances for going to the Super Bowl. But I think as a playoff team, they're still pretty safe in a weak division.
Derek, tell us a little bit about Fantasy Football Maniacs and what you do on the site. If people haven't checked out your website before, tell us where they can find it, and tell us a little bit more about what you do with Fantasy Football Maniacs.
Well, and first of all, Maniacs is spelled M-A-N-I-A-X. And basically what we do is we give fantasy football rankings, start-sit advice, waiver wire advice. So I try to have 3 articles a week up there plus rankings. And then we have a comment section where people can leave questions as far as, they might have 3 receivers and need to know which 2 to start, and we'll let them know who we would start and why we would do that. And then my business partner, Nicholas Lord, and I do a weekly webcast called The Ghost Check, where we do kind of a satire take on the NFL news for the week.
You know what? I'm going to have to start paying attention to more fantasy football like that, because we have a fantasy pick'em league here on Sports World Radio, and I just got killed this week. I only won 3 games.
I won 7 games, and I played in a league where there were 14 of us and 13 of us got eliminated. There were so many huge upsets between the Saints losing to Tampa, the Jets going into Indianapolis, Baltimore losing at Oakland. I think everybody that was playing in an eliminator challenge died this week because they're just St. Louis. We would have seen St. Louis going to Washington after they beat Seattle. There were just a lot of games to get tripped up on this week. As hard of a week as I've ever picked before.
It sure was. I couldn't believe it. We were talking before we brought you on the air how odd it was that all these upsets were happening as far as we were concerned, because everybody was picking the other teams.
Jaguars.
Yeah, the Jaguars in Miami. That was like St. Louis didn't surprise me a ton, because sometimes you get these teams where they win the Super Bowl and they're not used to success and they just come out flat the next week. So I had avoided St. Louis in a suicide pick. But New Orleans, I figured, with games against Arizona and Carolina sandwiched into a Tampa at home and a veteran squad with a Super Bowl winning quarterback and coach, that's a team that would have come out and been prepared. I don't know how much Drew Brees' shoulder injury had to do with it, but that team did not look like they came ready to play.
Hey, Derek, I have a steak dinner bet on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Somebody says that they're going to go 8-8, and I don't think they're going to go 8-8. What do you think their record's going to be?
I thought at the beginning of the year 6-10 or 7-9, and I think they will be a playoff team in 2016. That team is making good decisions and building the team the right way. I just don't know if Blake Bortles is quite there yet this year. It depends on how he progresses as the season goes on.
I hope I win that steak dinner, because I don't feel like paying for a steak dinner.
I think you have a good chance at a steak dinner. I really do. I think they're a year away, but I wouldn't make that bet next year.
Hey, Derek, I want to thank you so much for joining us here on Sports World Radio. We really appreciate your time. Before we let you go, please let the fans know how they can follow you. I know we talked about it. Now let the fans know how they can follow you and pay attention to you online.
Like I said, the website is fantasyfootballmaniacs with an X.com. I'm also on Twitter at Derek Laughlin. And I try to stay active on Twitter, so I answer a lot of questions on there as well.
Hey, Derek, thank you so much for joining us here on Sports World Radio, and hopefully we can do it again later on in the season.
Sounds good. I had a great time. Hope to be back.
All right, thank you very much. There goes Derek Laughlin. Derek Laughlin from Fantasy Football Maniacs. We're going to run to a commercial break. You're listening to Jeff Escow and Josh Lopez on Sports World Radio. We'll be right back.
Welcome to the Man Manual. Man comes with a multifunctional casing known as skin. It is remarkable. Warning, standard body wash can cause damage to man's skin. Maintain it properly with Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash. It cleans man and protects skin from dryness. This will keep man's skin remarkable, even under extreme testing. Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash. Skin care built in. Also, freshen man's exterior with new Aqua Impact Body Wash.
Every parent wants the safest and healthiest products for their family. That's why I created The Honest Company. I was just a concerned mom with a crazy dream. A wish that there was a company that I could rely on that did all of the hard work for me. I'm Jessica Alba, and The Honest Company was my dream.
LegalZoom has helped 1 million businesses successfully get started, including Jessica's. Launch your dream at LegalZoom today. Call us. We're here to help.
Hi, I'm Montel Williams. Most of you know me as a talk show host, but I'm also an author, actor, single father of 4, a fitness writer, avid snowboarder, and I'm also a medical marijuana patient. Like many of the million people who are living with multiple sclerosis, I'm in pain every single day. And sometimes my nerves are so raw that if you brushed up against me in an elevator, I'd scream. I can't sleep at night from the pain, and sometimes the spasms in my legs are so intense they will wake me up throughout the night. I've tried the strongest prescription medications available, and I'm going to tell you, they do not work. In fact, they leave me in a stupor, and most of the time, it's impossible to even live your life. Now, I've tried medical marijuana, and I'm going to tell you something, it works. If you'd like more information about medical marijuana, you can contact the Marijuana Policy Project at mpp.org or call 1-877-JOIN-MPP.
Hello there. I'm a famous actor. Pretty sure you know who I am. And when I want to know what's going on in the sports world, I tune into Sports World Radio.
She asked me maybe if I could share her sorrow.
Welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Escow, Josh Lopez, bringing you the fastest 2 hours of sports talk each and every Monday through Friday on SportsWorldRadio.com. Great interview there with Derek Laughlin, co-owner and senior NFL writer for Fantasy Football Maniacs. That was a lot of fun, huh, Josh?
Yep, that was a lot of fun.
A lot of fun.
Very smart man when it comes to that world.
Yeah. We're going to do our update right now.
Mm-hmm.
This update is brought to you by JockJournal.com. Head on over to JockJournal.com. Check out all their opinion pieces, discussions on every NFL football team. That's JockJournal.com. Take it away, Josh Lopez, with the first update of the day.
Thank you, Jeff. Welcome, everybody, to Sports World Radio on a Tuesday, September 22nd. Right now, it's 5:46 in the Central, which makes it 6:46 in the East. If you live in the West of the mountains, figure it out for yourself. It was announced today from Todd Bowles that Ryan Fitzpatrick will remain the Jets' starting QB after 2 impressive performances in the first 2 games of the year. Breaking news came out as the Dallas Cowboys have acquired the services of quarterback Matt Castle from the Buffalo Bills. That's right, Matt Castle will be replacing Tony Romo for the upcoming games for the Dallas Cowboys. And we'll get into that in a couple minutes. Baseball games for tonight, we got the Orioles at Nationals. That's interleague action in late September. We have Yankees at Blue Jays, White Sox at Tigers, Phillies at Marlins, Rays, Red Sox, Braves, Mets. That's not interleague action. Brewers at the Cubs, Angels at Astros, Indians at Twins, Mariners at Royals, Reds at Cardinals, Pirates at Rockies, Texas at A's, Diamondbacks at Dodgers, and then the late night game, the Giants at the Padres. Tonight we have a slew of NHL preseason games. NHL preseason is in full effect, and we'll be talking to Ron Gallo tomorrow to get his thoughts on the return of NHL, who will be our Stanley Cup predictions, and all that good stuff tomorrow on Sports World Radio. Also, we'll get into me and Jeff's thoughts on the Night of Champions pay-per-view this last week, and a little news coming up here for Sports Radio in the coming weeks. So this update's been brought to you by JockJournal.com. Go to JockJournal.com, check out the great articles, and sometimes I'll lambastic top 10 articles they have on there. And check out Jock Journal. It's a great website. And they also have a chat room where you can find our show on there as well. So check out Jock Journal at jockjournal.com.
All right. Welcome back to Sports World Radio here on SportsWorldRadio.com every Monday through Friday, 6 o'clock on the East, 3 o'clock on the West. If you live in the mountains.
Who cares?
That's right. Damn Skippy.
Who cares of Fig Newton?
That's right. All right. So, my brother, what's the next topic you got for me?
Breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. Matt Castle is now a Dallas Cowboy. That's right. The Dallas Cowboys acquired Matt Castle in the trade with the Buffalo Bills today.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So all the quarterbacks that they worked out today, none of them worked for him, so they went and made a trade for Matt Castle. To be Whedon's backup.
No, I think Whedon's still going to be the backup. I think Castle is actually...
Well, Castle ain't starting this week. I'll tell you that right now.
I'll give you that.
And I bet you
next week.
And I bet you Castle ain't starting the week after that neither, because he don't know the offense. So,
Matt Castle had a pretty underrated year last year with the Vikings, and for some reason, Rex Ryan decided to not have him as the starting quarterback for the Buffalo Bills. But you know what? I'm not Dallas Cowboys. I could give two fake news, to be honest with you, but I'm happy for him.
Yeah, but that Buffalo Bills let him go.
Correct.
Okay. Then they brought him back. Now they trade him.
Yeah, it's weird. It's really weird.
Wow.
That guy is a journeyman, though.
He's not a really good quarterback. He's a backup quarterback at best. So, You know what's going to happen? They're going to have, when Tony Romo comes back, they're going to have an average quarterback at best, and then they're going to have a backup quarterback at best.
Correct.
And then Brandon Whedon to boot.
Brandon Whedon. Give me a break.
Unbelievable, man.
So last Sunday was the Night of Champions pay-per-view, the 9th annual Night of Champions pay-per-view. We had 3 new champions crowned. Congrats go out to Kevin Owens becoming the new IC champion. We have Charlotte as the new Divas champion, and also we have John Cena as the new United States champion. Seth Rollins, however, is still the WWE World Heavyweight champion, and as Jeff said on Friday's show, Seth did defend both titles in back-to-back matches.
That was beautiful, man. I got what I got my wish. Back-to-back matches. That was awesome.
Yeah, you like that, huh?
Yeah, that's tough to do, man.
Yeah. So Seth had a really good outing this past Sunday night. I thought both matches were good. Overall, I really enjoyed the entire pay-per-view. Jeff, what was your thoughts on the show?
The ending sucked. I did not like the ending. The ending that they had last night on Monday Night Raw should have been the ending on freaking the pay-per-view. That was the ending that they should have done on the pay-per-view.
I was listening to some wrestling radio shows this morning just to see what everybody else talked about before I do my radio show tomorrow morning, Jeff. And they're kind of like mad and angry because Kane was doing the hocus pocus stuff with dragging Kane down, dragging Seth Rollins under the ring after Raw. And it's kind of funny, everybody talks about, why can't these characters go back to why they were back in the day, Kane breaking the Hell in a Cell door or dragging people under the ring or even choke slamming people through the ring. And then when he does it, they want to whine and moan about it.
Right. No, I liked it. I liked the ending last night.
I liked it too. It's Kane. So you're just gonna tell Kane not to do what he's known for?
Right. No, I really like the ending. In fact, what he should have done was, because he did one freaking whatchamacallit to get the belt, Sheamus.
Yeah.
Choke slammed him and then sucked him down. That was great. That was beautiful. That was the ending they should have done on the pay-per-view.
And Kane was having a great night on yesterday. I was laughing my ass off during Raw. Him being the corporate stooge and saying, I don't know what happened. I didn't have any mask on last night. I thought that was great.
That was hilarious.
Me and you were talking on the phone while you were watching the West Coast feed, and you saw Triple H getting mad.
Yeah. And what did I say? Look at him. His nose is flaring up. That nose gets into a building before he does. That thing's huge, man. That nose is just as big as one of his muscles on his arm.
Yeah, that nose is the first to come and the last to leave.
Actually, it's the first to come and the first to leave.
Good point.
Yeah.
So, other wrestling news: the New Day are still the WWE Tag Team Champions. However, Xavier Woods was put through a table this past Sunday night.
Hey, what was with his hairdo, man?
Oh no!
What was with that freaking hairdo?
Huh? There was actual Rufio chants during the show. If anybody knows the reference, Rufio.
Lucille?
No, Rufio.
Oh, Rufio?
No, not Rufields. Rufio.
Rufio? Never heard of it.
Never heard of him?
No.
I guess it comes from like some early 90s or 80s movie. I'm not sure, but yeah.
Unbelievable, man. That red dye in his hair was just ridiculous, man.
Yeah, that kind of looked rainbow flag-ish, huh?
Damn Skippy.
And then last night during Raw, he has the trombone out, and we all know how Jeff loves the trombone.
I hate that. I can't stand that, man.
What caught me off guard, and I thought it was really funny, was that Xavier was playing Ruse's theme song, and I thought that was pretty impressive, especially for me being a musician, doing it in high school and elementary school for a long time, and being a high school musician, to do that on the spot with no music sheet in front of him, I think that was pretty impressive.
Yeah, but still, it's a pain in the ass having that jumping. I don't need to hear that crap. and I liked he was yelling at him all night. I'm not a baby. I'm not a baby. Yes, you are, you pain.
Yeah, Bubba got on the ropes and he was yelling at the New Day, right?
Yeah.
They're in ringside in front of the announcer's table. And Bubba's like, Xavier, you need to stop being a freaking baby.
Yeah, Bubba, man, Bubba was fit to be tied last night.
Yeah, Xavier came out with this little medicine bag, plastic bag, with a piece of table.
Yeah, they took a piece of table out of his buttocks.
Yep.
His buttocks had a piece of what's his name? Xavier Wood got some wood stuck in his ass.
Now, let me ask you a question. Me and you did the sports tour for the Beast in the East show, right?
Yeah.
And Brock took on the New Day, since I'm keeping this in topic. So Brock took on the New Day, and when we were doing this sports tour, you were not happy about that match, right? About him beating guys.
He didn't take on the New Day. He took on Kofi Kingston, and the New Day came in to help Kofi Kingston and got their ass handed to him.
Correct. So, yeah, like I was mentioning, you're not a fan about just a random jobber match for the hell of it, just having Brock there. But you did get a good laughter seeing him whooping all the New Day members.
Yes, that was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I was, once again, listening to this great so-called award-winning Sirius XM wrestling show this morning.
Well, stop doing that then.
They said that they want jobber matches back.
Why?
So, like the Salvatore Limo or whatever his name was, or Iron Mark Sharp and SD Delivery Jones.
Special Delivery Jones.
Yeah. So basically they're talking about, instead of having good competitive matches with the same guys every single week, they want jobber matches.
Special Delivery Jones. You ever see him wrestle?
Yes, I have.
Man, that guy was freaking hilarious. Wasn't he?
The Brooklyn Brawler.
Yeah, Brooklyn Brawler. Special Delivery Jones. He should be in the Hall of Fame, man.
Barry Horowitz.
That's a hell of a name. Special Delivery Jones, huh?
Yep.
That's a SD Jones for short.
Associated with the Tony Atlas.
Yes. That's freaking crazy, ain't it?
So let me pose this question to you, Jeff. You're a big wrestling fan. You're an old school wrestling fan like I am, but you've been watching it far longer than I have. Would you like more jobber matches, if you will, or squash matches?
No.
No?
No, leave it the way it is, man.
Yeah, because...
Eventually, you know what I really want to see? I want them to take their freaking Raw shows and put them on the WWE Network, so when I miss it, I can go and watch it. That's what I want to see.
Yeah.
But they don't do that, do they?
Mm-hmm. So you had,
if Vince McMahon was smart, he'd put the freaking Raw and Thursday night just on the network.
I thought they'd do that. I don't know how they get any money out of that because, they are a subscription model. So that's kind of a weird scenario they could do when it comes to, like, advertising.
No, well, you know what they do is, okay, since it's going to be just on their channel, they're going to raise the price of subscription $10. That's what they do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Raise the price $10. Now instead of paying $9 a month, you're paying $19.95 a month.
Do you think that's a good idea though, to put your actual TV monsters that actually, in a way, inspire today's modern television? I mean, people can say whatever they want about Monday Night Raw or whatever, and people can get butthurt and stuck like the past. And our good friend Frank Sprinkle's a good cause of that, being stuck in the past when it comes to wrestling. But, Raw has been on TV every single week since 1993.
I understand that, but the ratings are falling.
I don't think ratings matter anymore like they did.
They don't matter to Vince. He does not care. He doesn't care about ratings anymore. I know that.
I don't think they matter because you have so many options now. You got DVR now. People don't pay attention to that. There's a lot of DVR people.
But he's got to he should make them available on the network too, so people miss it on a Monday night, they can go watch it.
Well, they do put those replays on there though. However,
where on the network?
Raw replays. It's a section on there.
The whole show?
Yeah.
No, it's never on.
Yes, there is. No. They don't put it in a live stream, but they actually have it on demand section on there.
I can never.
You never
find
do that?
No, every time I go there, it's like fucking 5 months ago one. It's ridiculous.
Well, for me on my Xbox, it's right there. It pops up like nothing. Like how we do our show and then it turns into a podcast on here right after it's over. That's how it works for me on my network.
Well, Raw Replays. I'm at Raw Replays right now. The last one is August 17, 2015.
August 17th?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the last one on there.
So that's like 4 weeks ago?
Yeah, exactly.
A month? Okay.
A month ago. Exactly.
But before you know it, by the end of the month, they'll have that previous month of shows on there.
Ridiculous, man.
No, I'm not pressing that link, Frank. I'm talking pro wrestling, not freaking crash dummies that put each other through stupid tables for the hell of it. That's not pro wrestling. That's just idiocity.
Yeah, see, I don't like that. And the same thing with the SmackDown replays. The last one on there is August 20th. That's ridiculous, man.
I don't know. I just don't see that happening. I mean, it'd be interesting, but I don't know if you want to charge people even more money just for the sake of having your TV shows on there.
You never know. You never know what he might do.
But I do give them credit for this standpoint that when they do the live pay-per-views, like right after, it is available on demand right after. You don't have to wait a while for it to come up.
Correct. That I like. Right, because you watch it back-to-back anyway.
True.
Right.
So, that's our thoughts on wrestling. I thought Raw was okay this past Monday night. I thought some good matches. I thought it was pretty funny. And then, I thought Night of Champions was fine, too.
I like the ending.
Mm-hmm.
I liked the ending last night. That ending was really good last night.
Correct.
Hey, we're going to run to our top of the hour break. Listen to Jeff Escow and Josh Lopez on
Sports World Radio.
We'll be right back.
Chloe is 9 months old.
She is the greatest thing ever.
One little smile, one little laugh. Anybody? We would do anything for her. My name is Kim Bryant, and my husband and I made a will on LegalZoom.
It was really easy to do.
We created LegalZoom to help you take care of the ones you love. Go to LegalZoom.com today and complete your will in minutes. At LegalZoom.com, we put the law on your side.
I had PTSD.
Once I was back from Iraq, I was distant from everybody in my family.
We had a reunion of our unit, and you'd hear these spouses say, "Is your husband doing that? My husband's doing that too. I thought it was just us." And really understanding that, hey, this is a common experience.
I learned more to listen to what he was saying, and that made it easier for me to understand where his pain was coming from.
Warriors should know that resources are available. Learn more at realwarriors.net.
Confusion ever someone or have sudden you trouble had speaking, understanding?
Understanding trouble? Have you sudden have or speaking someone ever confusion?
Have you ever had sudden confusion, trouble speaking, or understanding someone?
It could be one of the 5 signs of stroke.
Sudden weakness or numbness of the face, arm, or leg.
Sudden trouble with vision in one or both eyes.
Suddenly having trouble walking or difficulty with balance.
Or a sudden intense headache that comes out of nowhere.
If you or someone you know has any of these symptoms, don't wait. Call 911 immediately. You could make a difference in someone's life, someone you love, maybe even your own.
It's late until, wait, don't too.
Don't wait until it's too late. Time lost is brain lost.
Find out more at powertoendstroke.org. Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
Hey everybody, this is Sky. And when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
All right, welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Escout, Sean Mann, bringing you Jeff Escout, Josh Lopez, bringing you the fastest 2 hours of sports talk each and every Monday through Friday right here on Sports World Radio. Joining us right now, like he does every Tuesday and Thursday in the second hour of our show, is our other Chicago buddy, Bumblebee, Indiana's own Frank Sprankle.
Yeah, you said Chicago, so that means I am part of the Chicagoland area. You know what Chicago's out?
No, you're not. You're an Indiana correspondent.
Hey, I was born in Cook County. So wait, does this mean
when you live in the suburbs, it's not Cook County.
So wait, do you consider me a Colts fan?
No, I don't consider you a Colts fan, but you're not a Chicagoan.
I wouldn't want to be a Colts fan these days.
You don't
want to
be a Colts fan right now, I'm telling you that.
I would not, dude. Listen, as a Bears fan, and that's what the Hump and I are, we're Bears fans. Look, I expected this. But as a Colts fan, the fact that they are 0-2, that's more surprising than Philadelphia. That's more surprising than Seattle being 0-2.
Let's
get that out of the way since we have you on. We'll save the Skippy segment next. But so the Colts lose to the Jets yesterday, 20-7. When me and you and Sean met up for the NFL Real Talk, Frank, the other night, you were telling us about the issue that's brewing between the Colts coaching staff, right?
Well, it's not the coaching staff here, Hump. It's the fact that Chuck Pagano and Ryan Griggs haven't quite seen eye to eye, apparently, allegedly, as of late. Not quite sure what the status is, but I believe Pagano's contract is up at the end of the season, and you figured everything is all glory in Indianapolis, but I'll tell you this. From what I've seen the last 2 weeks, losing to the Bills and losing to the Jets, those are two teams that a team destined to go to the Super Bowl are expected to beat. And maybe there is that turmoil in Indianapolis, and we just don't know it.
I just find it odd, I get it's still early and there's still a chance for the Colts to at least win the division. I mean, it's the AFC South, for God's sake. So, I mean, it's not going to be hard for them to come back and bounce back, but the fact that they're barely scoring any points with the new additions they brought in from the offense in the offseason, I don't get what's going on here.
Well, here's the thing, and I'm reading this article because I'm trying to actually do more updating on what is currently taking place. But I'm reading, this is StampedeBlue.com. It's part of sports. It's part of SB Nation here.
Yeah, we talked to Josh Wilson from Stampede Blue.
Well, you might want to get Josh. Well, you might want to get. Who'd you talk to again?
Josh Wilson.
Josh Wilson, that's who he is. You may want to get Josh Wilson back on if this thing continues to get any worse, because I'm reading. In fact, I'm reading Josh's article right now. Josh Wilson wrote an article. I'm going to send it to you guys here in the link. But the headline can't be any more bold than what it is.
And the headline reads, I'll send it to you guys here in a moment, Chuck Pagano takes shot at Ryan Grigson during post-game criticism of Andrew Luck. You got to be curious. Apparently, they're not seeing eye to eye, and that has been evident even before the season began. But apparently, perhaps this dysfunction, I guess you can say, maybe it's having an effect on the Colts season here. I'm going to say this. Andrew Luck, he looked like one pissed off dude last night. Did you guys see him coming back to the sidelines, pretty much throwing his helmet almost to the ground, it looked like?
I didn't watch the game last night.
Oh, yeah, you were watching Raw. Yeah, you were watching. Trust me, if the attitude were brought back, I'd be DVRing Raw last night.
So, going back to that interview we did with Josh, and I kind of recall it because I do have a good memory. That's one of the good things I actually have with me as a broadcaster.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, especially in wrestling. My goodness.
But so he was talking. I think he even brought this up, Jeff, right, about some issues brewing in that the Colts may not be as good as everybody's making them out to be. Remember, Josh did not even pick the Colts to make the Super Bowl in his Super Bowl prediction, Jeff.
I know.
It's odd.
Very odd.
This could be big here. I think we need to pay attention to this over the next few weeks here. And if the Colts aren't winning, then maybe you guys may need to look at getting Josh Wilson back here, because this, I'm telling you, apparently it's not the coaching staff, but apparently it's between the head coach and the general manager not seeing eye to eye here. There's some friction going on between Pagano and Grigson in Indianapolis.
Speaking of quarterbacks and interesting teams right now, the Dallas Cowboys acquired Matt Castle from the Buffalo Bills. What was your thoughts on that, buddy?
The former Patriots quarterback. Remember in 2008 he came on and really did a fine job guiding the Patriots to an 11-5 season that year. I actually think it's a good move because the Cowboys are going to be in desperate need of a quarterback here, but understand this. It's still not going to be easy because, yes, you lose Tony Romo, but aren't you out Des Bryant? So aren't you out here your quarterback and your main go-to guy?
Correct.
I don't think it's going to be easy.
Yeah, either way, me and Jeff still think that the Cowboys are going to take a big tumble down the
I think they're going to take a nosedive. I think I'll agree with you in saying that this team will take a nosedive, and understand this. They have the New England Patriots upcoming on their schedule.
Yep. It's kind of crazy to think about that because, a couple weeks ago, we didn't even think Tom Brady was going to be the first couple games of the season. Now we're thinking about Brady possibly blowing out the Cowboys at Jerry World.
I think it's going to happen.
It's absolutely insane. Besides that, Frank, what was your thoughts on a bunch of upsets this weekend?
Oh, my goodness.
We had the Jaguars one. We had the Browns.
I don't know. Let me ask you. Do you consider the Miami Dolphins to be an upset? The Raiders,
yes,
I'll say this. The Raiders are an upset. I'll say that. The Raiders are an upset over the Buffalo Bills here. Indeed, there were a lot of upsets over the weekend, and I'll tell you this.
Many of them.
Yeah. Well, the Jets, I guess you can consider that an upset as well. Because
yeah, absolutely.
Here's the thing. We thought that this would be a bounce-back game for the Indianapolis Colts. But that was a great game between Jacksonville and Miami, with it being played in Jacksonville, because that definitely had you on the edge of your seat. Maybe not an intriguing matchup in all of the NFL, but a great matchup indeed, because the Jacksonville Jaguars, hey, wasn't there also bragging rights for the state of Florida here too? You don't see the Jaguars and the Dolphins play often during the regular season because you have three teams in the state of Florida. Each are in different conferences. But the Oakland Raiders, coming off that shutout loss against the Cleveland Browns, or the Cincinnati Bengals, pardon me, they're the ones that they surprised me the most. I would have to say that Oakland was the biggest upset special of the week.
Even the Redskins beating the Rams.
Wait a minute, did you take the Browns? Didn't you take the Browns over the Titans?
Yes, I did.
I mean, you know what I may be? I may be like the dumb kid in school over to the smart kid's desk to see what the answers are. Dude, I may do that for you. I may oversee your picks.
I didn't even have none of us here at SportsWorld, at least from Art, and had a great week when it came to picks. I mean, Jeff only had 3 wins. I had 6. I'm
not doing well. I'm not doing well.
At the end of the day, the goal is for us to win the Pick'em League. not Josh Turtle.
Let me ask you this, Jeff. What do you think about the New York Giants?
They blew that freaking game. I don't understand that, man.
They blew it twice. Listen, this is a team that just cannot play 60 minutes. They cannot hang in there when it matters the most. That's
Shows you just how much they need JPP.
Correct.
Exactly.
A little side note before we move on here, more NFL talk. We are actually, ironically, 35 days away from the 2015-2016 NBA basketball season.
Buddy
Wait,
boy.
I just realized something. Not to change the subject because you're thinking of fall. And by the way, this is technically summer because the first day of fall, at least half day, because it becomes fall tomorrow.
Right.
Hey, are you going to watch WGN tonight, WGN Channel 9 for us locally in Chicago?
Why?
Yeah, probably.
The Blackhawks are playing the Red Wings from the United Center. It's a preseason game, of course, but it's being televised.
And the preseason for basketball starts next Friday as the Nuggets take on the Clippers, by the way.
Hey, you know what? Since I got a PS4, I got to get the NBA game from EA Sports.
Yeah. Let me ask you this before we head to that commercial break, and of course we got the Skippy Bash Hour coming next. Frank, so why is the Baltimore Orioles taking on the Washington Nationals in September 22nd?
Well, someone's got to give, because the problem here is, is that you have an uneven number of teams in each league. Based that you have 15 teams in the AL, 15 teams in the NL, that means you can only have 14 teams in each league, and out of those 14 teams, you can only have 7 games that are within the league itself. So therefore, you have to have, unfortunately, 1 interleague game per day. I know. Listen, the more I've come to see interleague play nowadays, the more I like it because it's taken away from the beauty of baseball. See, here's the thing. You're 21 years old. All right, you were 3 when interleague play came about. Jeff and I remember the good old days of when the All-Star Game and the World Series had extra special meaning because it was the only time you saw the World Series and the All-Star Game because that's what counted. But we remember, Jeff, how the World Series was the only championship matchup, whether it be a game or a series, in this case the World Series, that the two teams were certain to have never played each other during the regular season.
I agree with you, Big Win. I totally agree with you.
But here's the thing. In order, Josh, listen. Major League Baseball, if you don't like these interleague games, and there's only one solution here. Major League Baseball is going to have to expand by 2 teams to make it an even number in each league.
I just think there's too many games. I saw your email you sent me earlier today about possibly moving it to 154 games.
No. That was a suggestion by Bob Costas, and I would like to talk about that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later on, but I just think there's too many games. There should be more than 100 games.
Guys, you know what I think? Here's what I think. The NFL is the cream of the crop when it comes to professional sports. It is the king of all professional sports.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't mind if Major League Baseball were to end their season in August, and in September you have the postseason, because face it, you see some of these ratings historically for postseason games in October, MLB games that are going up against NFL primetime games. The NFL is outdrawing Major League Baseball.
And speaking of draws, we got a very anticipated Skippy Bayless Bash Hour that's coming right next.
How many shots?
Yeah, after the commercial break, we're going to do Skippy. We'll be right back. You're listening to Jeff Escal, Josh Lopez, and Frank Sprankle on
Sports World Radio.
Question for Sean or Jeff? Tweet them now at Sports World Radio or on Facebook at Sports World Radio.
Storms move fast, so we use the best technology. That includes Bosch Icon wiper blades.
They're beam blades with memory tension springs and an aerodynamic design,
which means they fit the curve of the windshield. Bosch Icon wiper blades wiped our windshield clean and outlasted any other blade we've used. In my opinion, the Bosch Icon wiper blades are the best blades out there. Bosch Icon wiper blades, how storm chasers clear the way.
Did you know that just 30 minutes a day of physical activity can improve your health and decrease your risk of heart disease? For every hour of regular, vigorous exercise, you gain 2 hours of life expectancy. So start walking for yourself and for your heart. Start walking with your family. You'll feel better. Start walking in your community. You'll lead happier and healthier lives. Start walking. Start something. Join the movement today. For more information on the American Heart Association START program, visit startwalkingnow.org and start walking. Start something.
What kind of person gets to work in the sunshine instead of an office? This kind of person. I am the new way to work. I do have an office. I'm just not chained to it. It's a Regis office at one of the nicest addresses in the city. I don't have a lease, so I don't have to budget for stuff like phones, IT guys, and artwork for the lobby. Instead, I pay one low monthly rate that gives me a beautiful lobby that impresses my clients, a friendly receptionist, a fully furnished office, a place to meet, and a place to brainstorm with my fellow New Way to Workers. We wonder why more people don't realize that the new way to work is the best way to work. I come here because I want to, not because I have to. I am the new way to work, and I'd like you to join me.
Start now and get 1 month free. Call 1-800-OFFICES or visit regis.com/TV.
Hello there. I'm a famous actor. Pretty sure you know who I am. And when I want to know what's going on in the sports world, I tune into Sports World Radio.
All I want is to be loved.
I just took a nap.
Welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Escow, Sean Mann. I did it again. Jeff Escow, Josh Lopez, bringing you the fastest 2 hours of talk, sports talk right here on SportsWorldRadio.com. Frank Spranko sitting in with us like he does each and every Tuesday and Thursday in the second hour of our shows.
How do you know I'm sitting? I could be standing.
Well, you're probably sitting.
Yeah, probably now because I'm in more of a relaxed state.
Yeah, you're probably sitting. I know Josh is sitting.
I just got up I just took a nap, so I'm under. I've been up since.
What's with Joe Madden bringing flamingos to press conference, man?
Dude, Joe Madden's a creative dude. He wants to make it. Listen, Joe Madden, regardless of how the Cubs do in the postseason, let's face it, they're going to be in the postseason. This guy better get NL Manager of the Year. If not, this reward may be rigged.
Dontrell Willis from Fox, the former pitcher for the Marlins, just came out and said on Twitter that the Cubs will actually make the World Series this year by beating the New York Mets in the NL League Championship.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's what he just said right now.
I get great respect for the D Train. I really do.
The D Train. Oh, my God.
I remember when he came up with the Florida Marlins, how everybody was just in awe of him. Had a terrific wind-up. Tell you what, he was definitely one of my favorite characters, and I try to listen to him when I can on Fox. God bless Dontrell Willis. I love him. And, hey, I love you even more. You picked the Cubs to win the World Series. Hey, D-Train, who do you have the Cubs beating in the World Series?
I heard he played for a Triple-A team in the
Whatever. D-Train, who do you have the Cubs winning the World Series against?
I don't think they'll make the World Series, but I think they'll be in the playoffs.
I think so, too. And you know what? Here's the thing, Hump. Let's talk about this. Listen, the Chicago Cubs have exceeded everybody's expectations here. They really have. And they can go into the one-game playoff, and it's going to be a one-game playoff. They can lose the one-game playoff, and I'm not going to be disappointed. I'm not going to be mad. I'm not going to be upset. I'm not going to want to break things. You know what? I'm going to regardless of what happens, I am going to be accepting of it because this team finished last the last couple of seasons. What a great run by the Chicago Cubs. Hats off. But you know what? The one problem I have is why is the World Series potentially going into November here?
Exactly. I hate that.
Pretty soon we're going to be eating Thanksgiving turkey. And it'll be a week before Thanksgiving, which the World Series has ended.
Yeah, baseball World Series ends 3 weeks before Thanksgiving.
That's ridiculous.
That's not good.
Dude, I remember when the World Series used to be played in mid-October.
Correct.
All right, it's time for the Skippy Bayless Bash Hour, the signature segment here at Sports World Radio. Skippy went on to say today that Jerry Jones means Whedon is a gifted thrower, not passer. Big difference. Not as great at reading, standing, strong versus rush, but can spin it.
You better hope so, because his ass is going to get sacked an awful lot.
Hey, do you guys remember when Brandon Weeden was drafted, how it was a big deal because he was 28? Remember he played minor league baseball in the Yankee organization?
Jerry Jones, if you think Brandon Weeden's taking you to the Super Bowl, you're freaking nuts. You're nuts.
Dude, if Brandon Weeden can take the Dallas Cowboys into Santa Clara and win the Super Bowl, they need to make a Hollywood movie about that.
Okay, first of all, you're right. But first of all, they got to worry about winning the game that's coming up next with Brandon Weeden. That's the only thing that they should be concerned with, because right now, they got a big problem.
Skippy had a lot of sarcastic tweets and comments on today's first take towards one Andrew Luck. Skippy Bayless said that Andrew Luck once again proved why he's the most overrated quarterback in the NFL.
Well, in terms of him being overrated, it's still early to say, but he has not played like the Andrew Luck that we expected. You know what? One thing about Andrew Luck that I do admire is he did take responsibility on a couple of those turnovers. But I'll tell you this, he's got to turn it around, otherwise he will be viewed as being overrated.
Jeff, you think he's overrated?
A little bit, I do, yeah. But he's progressed every year he's been in the NFL. Every year he's gone further and further in the playoffs.
Yeah, but there's more expectations, Jeff, with that.
Well, maybe if he had an offensive line to stop people coming from sacking, maybe he had more time to throw the freaking ball.
Well, then maybe Ryan Griggs should have done a better job.
How about you mention that, Skippy?
Yeah, same thing happened to Romo, right?
Yeah.
Everybody talks about the best offensive line in football. Romo's out with a broken collarbone.
So much for the best offensive line, huh?
Skippy Bayless, speaking of the Cowboys, Skippy Bayless said that mine.
Here we go with the first torture of the day.
My Dallas Cowboys will still make the playoffs without Des Bryant and Tony Romo.
No way. Ain't going to happen.
Nah, you can't. It's a game of health.
With Brandon Weeden? The hell out of here.
Hey, let's just see what Brandon Weeden can do.
He can't do anything. It's just that simple.
He's a backup quarterback at best.
He's not Vinny Testaverde. He's not even Kyle Orton. It's not gonna happen. Skippy Bayless said that he said my San Diego Chargers let me down this weekend.
They let me down too. Who feels so bad? They ain't your San Diego Chargers, first of all. You don't live in San Diego.
I don't really think that was much of an upset.
You don't get to claim that, bitch, at all.
But he hates San Diego.
I thought so too.
Skippy Bayless said that Eli Manning is turning into a joke and is hurting his legacy with the New York Giants.
We're 2 games into the season. What are you going to happen? Well, see, the problem is, once they get Victor Cruz back and they get Randall healthy and they get all 3 of them on the field at once, because right now it's only been Beckham. They get all 3 of those guys, and the offensive line can give him some time to throw the ball. Watch out, boys and girls. You can't cover all 3 of them, can you?
Skippy Bayless said that my Chicago Cubs better sweep the Milwaukee Brewers.
Well, I would love to see them sweep the Milwaukee Brewers. For them to get the number 1 seed, they're still in contention for that number 1 seed, but they wouldn't need to sweep the Brewers. They wouldn't need to sweep the Pirates. Listen, the Cubs are going to go to if Skip Bayless is seeing it from the standpoint of they need to sweep the Brewers because they're not going to the playoffs, dude, I'm just going to quote Aaron Rodgers to you. RALAX. Relax.
Skippy Bayless. Oh, I hate that quote.
It was a good quote. You just don't like it because who it was.
Yeah, exactly. Read my mind. Skippy Bayless said that my Oakland Raiders. There you go. My Oakland Raiders looked impressive.
Yeah, they did after 1 game. That was an upset. I will admit that.
Skippy Bayless said that Sean Payton is on the hot seat.
Yeah,
I will agree there. Yeah.
Well, I don't know with whatchamacallit, with Breeze being hurt now.
Yeah, it's not looking good for the Saints.
No.
I mean, I know for me and Frank as Bears fans, we know what we're coming into this year. just thought they were going to have a better year than they did last year, but I don't think they're making the playoffs or anything. But the Saints, they play in probably one of the worst divisions in football, and they're looking like a complete joke right now.
Yeah, didn't going 7-9 get you into the playoffs last year?
No, 7-8-1 actually.
Oh, 7-8-1. That's what I was
tie.
thinking of. Yeah, there was a tie with the Carolina Panthers. That's right. Close, but hey, you know what? They didn't deserve the playoffs. And I'm happy the NBA is redoing that, by the way. You guys are talking about the NBA. I will say this before we move on, that God bless the NBA for reseeing it, because if you are going to finish under 500, that's mediocrity, and mediocrity should not be rewarded.
The question, Strava says the question applies to Sean Payton and Mike Tomlin. Do they stay if their teams falter?
I think Sean Payton more than Mike Tomlin.
I think Rob Bryan is not helping the Saints defense, who's causing them losing games, and vice versa. I think Todd Haley, as the offensive coordinator, is not helping the Steelers win games.
Okay,
yes, I know. Yes, I know they beat the 49ers, but still, it's freaking Todd Haley.
Dude, I understand where you're coming from, but in the end, all right. Let me say this: being a head coach in the NFL is like being the president of the United States from this standpoint. I'm not going to say you make the decisions, but don't you know you have a presidential administration here?
Yeah.
You have your cabinet. That's what it's like, because you have your secretaries, all your advisors. That's what it's like. As the president of the United States, you have your Secretary of Defense, your cabinet, your Treasury. I mean, you have your offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, special teams coach. Listen, any bad advice the president gets and he applies, that falls on him. It's like his coordinators, his assistant coaches. If he takes the advice, you know what's going to fall on the head coach in the end.
Two more Skippy quotes for you, Jeff. Skippy Bayless said, here's a wrestling quote and the only one for today. Skippy Bayless said that Night of Champions should have been capped off with him cashing in the briefcase, not Sheamus.
Say that again?
He said that Skip Bayless would have been successful cashing in the briefcase, unlike Sheamus was this past Sunday night.
You would have gotten chokeslammed just like Sheamus did. What are you talking about, you schmuck?
And also the last quote of the Skippy Bash Hour. Get ready, ladies and gentlemen. Skippy Bayless is not in a good mood because he felt ripped off and left out of the Emmy Awards this past Sunday night.
Good.
What a Emmy Awards voice? So you want to go into acting now?
No, this is for the TV awards shows. Frank.
Oh, I didn't watch that. Don't worry, Skip. I didn't watch it.
You don't deserve one. You're not going to win one. You're not good enough to win one.
Well, come on, Jeff. First Take was one of the longest-running morning sports shows on TV.
That's because of Stephen A. Smith, not because of him.
I have a question. Where was that? Was that in Los Angeles?
Yes, correct.
Skip Bayless literally in Los Angeles for the award.
No, he was not.
No. He was in
Connecticut. He was back at home. Like
Dude,
the canoe that he is.
Dude, you're thinking about yourself too much.
He does.
That's the rap.
It's not about you.
And that's the wrap for the Skippy Bayless Bash Hour.
And on that note, we're going to run to our final update of the day. This update is brought to you by JockJournal.com. Head on over to JockJournal.com and check out all their opinion pieces, their discussions on every single NFL team. That's JockJournal.com. Take it away, Josh Lopez, with the final update of the day.
Thank you, Frank and Jeff. Welcome, everybody, here on the Sports World Radio Tuesday, September 22nd. Right now, it's 6:30 in the Central, which makes it 7:30 East Coast. If you live in the West Mountains, Pacific Mountains, whatever time zone it is, figure it out for yourself. Right now, in the NFL world, of course, we know that Tony Romo broke his collarbone against the Philadelphia Eagles. He'll be out for 8 weeks. And the Cowboys' supplement for that was acquiring Matt Castle from the Buffalo Bills. The Minnesota Timberwolves buy out the contract of Anthony Bennett from his previous trade with Cleveland, traded Anthony Bennett to the Timberwolves after the Cavaliers didn't do anything with Bennett his rookie year when Bennett was the number one draft pick of the 2013 NFL draft. NBA draft, actually, my bad. Right now, scores, Red Sox are up 2-0 against the Tampa Bay Rays. The Mets, the hot New York Mets right now are up 1-0 against the Atlanta Braves. Phillies up 1-0 against the Marlins. Yankees are up 2-0 against the Blue Jays. That's a big series going right there. Interleague crap. Orioles up 1-0 against the Washington Nationals. Right now, some hockey scores. Yes, folks, we actually have hockey going on right now. The Philadelphia Flyers beating the Rangers 1-0. The Blue Craps are taking on the Blues 1-0. The Penguins are beating the Carolina Hurricanes 2-1. And that's it right now. We have the Boston Bruins, of course, taking on the Washington Capitals with Jeff's favorite hockey player, Alex Ovechkin. This update has been brought to you by JockJournal.com. We'll be back with more sports talk with Jeff Escal and the big win himself, Big Chubby Win, our Indiana correspondent, Frank Sprinkle.
Welcome to the Man Manual. Man comes with a multifunctional casing known as skin. It is remarkable. Warning, standard body wash can cause damage to man's skin. Maintain it properly with Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash. It cleans man and protects skin from dryness. This will keep man's skin remarkable, even under extreme testing. Dove Men Plus Care Body Wash. Skin care built in. Also, freshen man's exterior with new Aqua Impact Body Wash.
Every parent wants the safest and healthiest products for their family. That's why I created The Honest Company. I was just a concerned mom with a crazy dream. A wish that there was a company that I could rely on that did all of the hard work for me. I'm Jessica Alba, and The Honest Company was my dream.
LegalZoom has helped 1 million businesses successfully get started, including Jessica's. Launch your dream at LegalZoom today. Call us. We're here to help.
Hi, I'm Montel Williams. Most of you know me as a talk show host, but I'm also an author, actor, single father of 4, a fitness writer, avid snowboarder, and I'm also a medical marijuana patient. Like many of the million people who are living with multiple sclerosis, I'm in pain every single day. And sometimes my nerves are so raw that if you brushed up against me in an elevator, I'd scream. I can't sleep at night from the pain, and sometimes the spasms in my legs are so intense they will wake me up throughout the night. I've tried the strongest prescription medications available, and I'm going to tell you, they do not work. In fact, they leave me in a stupor, and most of the time, it's impossible to even live your life. Now, I've tried medical marijuana, and I'm going to tell you something, it works. If you'd like more information about medical marijuana, you can contact the Marijuana Policy Project at mpp.org or call 1-877-JOIN-MPP.
Hey everybody, this is Sky, and when I want to know what's going on in the wonderful world of sports, I tune to Sports World Radio.
Welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Escout, Josh Lopez, bringing you the fastest 2 hours each and every Monday through Friday right here on SportsWorldRadio.com. Frank Sprankle joining us like he does every Tuesday and Thursday in the second hour of the show. What do you got for us, guys? Where are we going next?
Frank, go ahead. Tell us what you're talking about.
Okay, fine. I'll tell you what. When we talk about the NFL here, you know what? Des Bryant's out. Obviously not good for the Dallas Cowboys. And you lose Tony Romo. Listen, you got Brandon Weeden, who hasn't played much. Matt Castle's had some success. Not obviously Hall of Fame success. Hey, why not give Terrell Owens another shot? Terrell Owens says that the Cowboys should sign him. I don't know if it's in spite or despite, however you want to look at it, but the guy's 41 years old. Couldn't hurt. Hey, he's been in the league before many years with multiple teams. What do you think? Should I give him a shot, or is he being cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs?
Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Let's bring Ocho Cinco back from Canada. Let's bring Randy Moss back. Who's next? You want Torrey Holt to come back?
Why don't we? Let's make the NFL National Folding League. Folding League.
Yeah, let's
National
bring Musha.
Folding. We're folding as players.
Yeah, let's bring Musha Muhammad too while we're at it.
Yeah,
Musha Muhammad. I like Musha when he played with the Bears and then with the Panthers.
Mushu Muhammad.
Is Marvin Harrison a Hall of Famer?
Marvin Harrison, I think he is.
Jeff?
I don't know.
Not first ballot, but I think he is a Hall of Famer. I think partly, too, your quarterback, whoever he is, will make you a Hall of Famer. And if you're going to have one receiver from Peyton Manning and all the years of service, I think it should be Marvin Harrison. Let me read you a quote, though. Can I read you a quote? This is from Terrell Owens. We all know what happened when I was there, referring to his time in Dallas, and there were some things said where it may have fractured the relationship between myself and Jason Witten, and Tony Romo. Time has passed, and hopefully they know that I've moved on beyond that. And maybe, hopefully, they have. But for me, it's all about giving myself an opportunity. That's all I ever really wanted. You know what? I'm just curious. Does he want this opportunity just to play football, or is he just trying to amend fences here with Tony Romo, Jason Witten, and God knows how many other people?
I just think he wants to play because he wants to compete with his little brother, if you will, Des Bryant. I mean, they're both the same guy if you think about it, and players.
Yeah, how old? Hey, you know what? That's fine. Hey, you know what? Des Bryant will come back eventually. And hey, I was in grade school when you were in the prime of your career. Des Bryant, listen, Des Bryant. All right, let's look at it this way. Terrell Owens was what? Was with the 49ers in 1998. Remember the Wildcat game?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, Des Bryant was only 10 years old then.
Unbelievable.
Right.
Exactly. Well, hey, look at Peyton Manning. Look at guys such as Peyton Manning and Tom Brady here. You got guys that are on defense that remember growing up watching these guys.
Hey, are you ready? Are you ready for this Sunday night matchup? The Broncos at the Lions.
Oh, by the way, I was watching. Hey, you know what? Actually, since NBC started the Sunday night package, they have never done a game in Detroit at Ford Field.
I just don't give two fake news about that game, to be honest with you.
Wait, what?
The Lions and Broncos?
Why?
It's boring. The Lions suck. It's in Detroit. Their fans are boring, and it's Peyton Manning. Why would I want to watch?
Because Peyton is so good.
No, he's not.
Retire.
No, he's not.
He won't retire. What you say? Are you getting tired of those listeners? I'm not getting tired. I mean, you know they're going to come up with another nationwide commercial.
I'm not tired of that, but there's too many Peyton Manning commercials. Too many Peyton Manning commercials.
Okay, so let me ask you this: do you go to bed do you go to bed and do you think about before you go to bed the possibility you're going to have nightmares thinking about Peyton Manning commercials?
No, but I do say I don't know what the hell's coming next.
I don't have a high-pitched voice.
I don't care what's coming next.
Dude, that high-pitched voice commercial is kind of scary, dude.
I had one header right here. Man, it sucks when you lose your train of thought.
My legs aren't very skinny.
Thank you, our Indiana correspondent.
I am not a bumblebee.
Yes, you are.
You are. You freaking hump.
All right, what do we got next, boys?
Call me just that.
What do we got next?
All right, go ahead.
So, Frank, obviously we talked about the Colts and Jets. We talked about T.O. We touched a little bit about the baseball schedule, but what was Bob Costas' suggestion?
Okay, Bob Costas. You know what? I was hoping. I was hoping that somebody who's been on the show was on because I wanted to talk about it to him, but I'll talk to you guys about it. Bob Costas, listen, what do you guys think, first of all? Let's break it down here. What do you guys think about a 154-game schedule? Yay or nay? I say yay.
No, they can keep it 162. Just start the season sooner, dumbasses.
Dude, okay, I'm going to 62 games. Listen, who cares what the corporate suits think? Let's have Sunday doubleheaders occasionally. Not every Sunday, but let's have the occasional Sunday doubleheader, please.
Oh, God.
Okay, Bob Costas doesn't mind. Listen, Bob Costas, and God bless him, Bob Costas does football, he does the Olympics, he does horse racing. But I'll tell you what, when it comes to Bob Costas, I honestly like him the most when he covers baseball. Because Bob Costas loves to talk about baseball. Man, what I wouldn't do to have a baseball conversation for 1 hour with the guy. But Bob Costas would not mind seeing the Major League season reduced from 162 to its initial amount of 154. However, do you know how we have the one-game playoff, which I love so densely?
Yeah, you and the only person in the world that loves that.
Well, I disagree with Costas on this. This is what I really disagree with him on. He believes that there should be a best-of-3 series for the two top wildcard teams. All right, take the Cubs and Pirates. Let's say the Cubs and Pirates in that one-game playoff, and it's played in Pittsburgh.
it stands now.
Right.
Under Costas' suggestion is you would play a best-of-3 wild card series with the top 2 teams in each for the wild card. However, if you are the number 1 seed, you get to host all 3 games if necessary. You get to host the first 2, and if necessary, that third one. So that means if you're the number 2 seed, you do not host a game in that wild card series. Bad idea, Bob. Don't like it.
Me and you were talking over the weekend, Jeff, and you told me that the wild card round for the NFL is kind of similar to the playing game, right?
It is. I think it is.
And it makes for excitement. I love it.
The wild card game in the NFL is just like the playing game in Major League Baseball.
All right, then Costas goes on, and I disagree with Costas on this, too. Grant, I love Bob Costas, but I disagree with him on both fronts. No 3-game wild card series. It should be a 1-game playoff with the number 1 seed hosting that one wild card game. And Bob Costas then suggested that the divisional series in each league, for divisional series, it should be a best-of-7. Not a best-of-5, but a best-of-7. Disagree with him there, too.
We'll talk a little bit more about this when we come back from our last and final break of the day.
You're listening to Jeff Escow and Josh Lopez and Frank Sprankle on
Sports World Radio.
We'll be right back.
Chloe is 9 months old.
She is the greatest thing ever.
One little smile, one little laugh. Anybody? We would do anything for her. My name is Kim Bryant, and my husband and I made a will on LegalZoom.
It was really easy to do.
We created LegalZoom to help you take care of the ones you love. Go to LegalZoom.com today and complete your will in minutes. At LegalZoom.com, we put the law on your side.
I had PTSD. Once I was back from Iraq, I was distant from everybody in my family.
We had a reunion of our unit, and you hear these spouses say, "Is your husband doing that? My husband's doing that too. I thought it was just us." And really understanding that, hey, this is a common experience.
I learned more to listen to what he was saying, and that made it easier for me to understand where his pain was coming from.
Warriors should know that resources are available. Learn more at realwarriors.net.
Confusion ever someone or have sudden you trouble had speaking, understanding?
Understanding trouble? Have you sudden have or speaking someone ever confusion?
Have you ever had sudden confusion, trouble speaking, or understanding someone?
It could be one of the 5 signs of stroke.
Sudden weakness or numbness of the face, arm, or leg.
Sudden trouble with vision in one or both eyes.
Suddenly having trouble walking or difficulty with balance.
Or a sudden intense headache that comes out of nowhere.
If you or someone you know has any of these symptoms, don't wait. Call 911 immediately. You could make a difference in someone's life, someone you love, maybe even your own.
It's late until, wait, don't too.
Don't wait until it's too late. Time lost is brain lost.
Find out more at powertoendstroke.org. Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
Hello there. I'm a famous actor. Pretty sure you know who I am. And when I want to know what's going on in the sports world, I tune into Sports World Radio.
Welcome back to Sports World Radio. Jeff Escow, Josh Lopez, Frank Sprankle, bringing you the fastest 2 hours of sports talk right here on SportsWorldRadio.com. Final segment of the Tuesday show. Wow, the show has gone by fast.
Because I'm having fun with you guys.
Wow,
We're
it's gone
enjoying
by
something that's
fast.
supposed to go by quick.
Holy freaking moly, man.
Yeah, here at Sports World Radio, we're supposed to have fun.
Yes, and we do, don't we?
I try.
We do,
I
boys
think it's
and
working
girls.
today.
Sports talk is supposed to be fun,
That's
not
right.
bringing moves down.
We do.
And there's baseball tonight. I'm going to watch some of the Blackhawks and the Red Wings game. I'm sure Josh is going to catch some of it as well.
Yep. It's going to be fun.
Even though it's preseason.
Yepers.
So I read the stat. So we have a lot of these teams that are 0-2 now. Which one surprised you the most, Frank, as far as the 0-2 teams?
I would honestly have to say it's the team that lost last night, the Indianapolis Colts. Look, as far as the Philadelphia Eagles, we knew, and there were 3 teams that I really wanted to pose a question to that were surprised. Was it the Colts? Was it the Eagles? Was it the Seahawks? Look, as far as the Eagles go, we do not know just with these new additions how it was going to play out. So with the Eagles, not really surprised. The Seahawks, I'm not really surprised. I mean, look at the teams they played.
granted, many people weren't expecting the St. Louis Rams to do much, but didn't they really turn it on toward the end of last season? Didn't they beat? Hold on, did the Rams beat the Seahawks at home a year ago? Yes, they did. Mm-hmm. Exactly. So I'm not surprised with the Eagles. I'm not surprised with the Seahawks. They had to go into Green Bay. That's not easy. I'm surprised with the Indianapolis Colts and the fact that they are starting 0-2.
Right.
Because it seems that you have this great talent. You have a nice young quarterback who seems to be the star of tomorrow once, or part of the stars of tomorrow once Brady and Peyton retire here. The Colts, the fact that they're 0-2, that surprises me. I'll be honest with you. I'm surprised of what we've seen from the Indianapolis Colts. And yes, I'm surprised of the play of Andrew Luck.
Now let me ask you this, Frank. We'll move from the NFL to baseball. Do you think Jake Arrieta deserves the NL Cy Young this year, even if the Cubs don't make the playoffs this year?
I think he should be a candidate. I think that for him to be the first pitcher to get to 20 wins in the NL, yeah, I would have to say potentially he should be. I will say this. I really would want to do more and see in terms of who is really worthy of the Cy Young in addition to Arrieta. But I'm going to say this. Jake Arrieta is definitely going to start that one-game playoff. He is very deserving of it. He is the ace, and you know what? As far as him winning the NL Cy Young Award, I don't know if he will, but he's going to get a lot of votes. I'm going to tell you that. He's going to be in the top 3.
Do you think so?
I think so, yes, I do, because of the fact, and also doesn't Farina no-hitter help your cause too?
It does, but I mean,
I think it
happens for other pitchers too. I mean, I don't know.
Clayshaw, certainly, Clayton Kershaw's a guy you have to look at.
It's just an odd
scoreless inning streak.
I just think it's an odd coincidence because people a couple years ago only thought Jake Arrieta would be good in the middle of the rotation. Now this guy has the most amount of wins for a pitcher and one of the best ERAs in baseball this entire year.
Mm-hmm.
Understand this a year ago. We're talking about Arrieta throwing a no-hitter on Sunday Night Baseball against the Dodgers in L.A. But didn't he take 2 no-hitters late into ball games last year? The Reds at home. The Red Sox in Fenway Park. You know what? From what we've seen from Jake Arrieta, based on what we saw, not much over in years gone by, but last year in particular, I don't know if we should be shocked with what we're seeing from Jake Arrieta. And he's going to get that 20th win. Hopefully it's tonight, but he's going to get that 20th win.
It's going to be interesting. I mean, the Cubs are taking on the Pirates this weekend. That's a huge.
Josh, huge. All right, I'll be joining you in the huge in spreading out the word huge. It is huge.
Who do you think you are, Donald Trump?
What?
Who do you think you are, Donald Trump?
I'll tell you what, Donald Trump is making a lot of sense. Hey, I'll be 35. Does Trump want a vice president? I'm in.
I don't pay attention to politics, but both you and Jeff has stated that.
Well, before I move on, a Trump sprinkle ticket. I mean, think about this. You got the hair and the big win. What more can you ask for? And you know what? I've negotiated peace before. Send me out. I will negotiate more peace.
He won't have you there because you're the big win. You're going to blow his hairpiece off.
Yeah, Frank, we could definitely use you when it comes to peace offerings. You are the man.
I'm not leaving this industry. I'm not leaving this industry. How can I not, especially with the way the Cubs have been playing? But I'm going to say this. That series, Josh, that's potentially going to determine who gets that one-game playoff. I mean, come Sunday night, and that's a Sunday night game on ESPN, by the way, the third of that series. Mm-hmm. I think whoever is on top of the wild card lead at that point, Cubs or Pirates, hopefully Cubs, I think whoever's on top is going to host that one-game playoff.
Before we get the flock out of here, like Jeff says,
yep.
I found this interesting story from Variety.com. It's talking about ESPN and the company. There seems to be some layoffs, and I just posted in the chat room in case you guys want to.
I was going to say, is ESPN up for sale? Because we ought to buy them then.
No, I'm not buying that crap.
No, nobody wants to.
So they're laying off people, right?
Yes, they are mulling layoffs right now as far as particular talent, and I thought this was only a matter of time. I mean, yes, ESPN is owned by Walt Disney, the company, and they have different markets. They have Dallas, they got Boston, they got LA, they got Chicago. Chicago's kind of the like the thing outside of ESPN's comfort zone. You know, we have the station here, but they don't really do too much with Chicago when it comes to ESPN. But the fact that this business or corporation has been dominating the sports world, and now they're actually laying people off, is there any concern for this or no? Because when it comes to TV, and me and Jeff were talking about this with ratings and wrestling, I think a lot of these networks are now catering to on-demand, online subscription models instead of just focusing what you put on TV each week.
It's amazing how cable television or subscription television, if you would include direct broadcast satellite, has changed drastically because the economics of it have changed. As far as these layoffs go, I'll say this, for ESPN to be laying off a lot of people, are they really struggling financially?
It says here in the article they're laying off between 200 to 300 staffers.
So, wait a minute. They're not making money? ESPN, they have how many channels?
I don't know.
How many? They got radio affiliates.
Well, they're controlled by Walt Disney.
Oh, so what does Mickey Mouse need more money for a nose job? What?
I guess so.
Maybe he's offended by Stephen A. Smith's comments.
I guess so.
It's just
I don't
weird.
get it. I don't know. If ESPN's losing money, I have no idea why. Does it have to do with the fact that maybe people are tired of the East Coast bias?
Because they're paying they're playing the NBA network and the NFL network billions of dollars to put their freaking game on TV. That's why.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they have a lot. They get a lot of money, Frank, but at the same time, they're spending a lot of money too to do these live remotes. They're dominating press release things. They go into town. They have their own stuff. When it comes
Wait a minute.
to
Hold on,
Josh. That's a lot of money.
Josh, let me get in on this. I think I read, because you're mentioning about remotes, I think I read somewhere that ESPN is going to start to have on-air talent broadcast games from the studio.
Yeah,
I think
it's too much money to do that.
I read that.
It's too much money.
They did that with WWE. Did that with wrestling when they were in Tokyo.
And
no, they did in Brooklyn for SummerSlam.
Huh?
ESPN was in Brooklyn for SummerSlam.
Yeah, but WWE's play-by-play announcers were in the studios, not in Tokyo.
Yeah,
So
they were
do
in
that
Stanford.
Right.
Are they going to do that for ESPN baseball coverage, with the exception of Sunday night baseball, I can imagine? Are they going to send, talent in the studio and broadcast the games there?
Uh-huh. Plus, you got to look at it this way. I think really radio and podcasting platforms are really dominating the broadcasting field these days. That's what it's easier access to people on your phones to listen and even watch live streams of your favorite podcasts or whatever on there. You really don't need the TV anymore. I mean, besides the wrestling shows, I barely watch TV anymore.
And understand this about ESPN. I used to be an avid Sports Center watcher during the 1990s, because you got to understand how many options were there in terms of cable sports television. No, I'm talking about the 90s.
Oh, no, I was talking about in general. There was at least 100 channels. I remember when I was
back in when I was growing up, there was 3.
But it's CBS, NBC, ABC.
Yeah.
Wait, but hold on. You had WR, WPIX, and all those other channels.
Yeah, but you didn't have cable back then, so we couldn't get it unless you lived in those towns.
But all right, but here's the thing about the 80s and the 90s. When it came to sport, when it came to National Sports Network, ESPN was prominently it. You didn't have Fox Sports with Fox Sports 1 or CBS and NBC. They now have sports channels. The leagues, the professional sports leagues, they have their own channels. There's way more, and now you have the internet.
Right.
There's way more options to get your sports information than have to watch Sports Center when it was Dan Patrick and Keith Olbermann.
Right.
And back then, when it was, I'm just going back to 20 years ago. Back when it was Dan Patrick and Keith Olbermann, prominently, if you wanted to find out, see the highlights and all that, you had to watch Sports Center. That's not the case anymore.
Yeah, it's totally a different environment these days, and I don't know if there's a need for a Sports Center TV model anymore.
Wait, but I just thought of something. I just thought of something what ESPN can do to save some money, and it's a genius idea. I've been pushing it for a while. Listen, you guys can keep the live remotes, but don't send any broadcasters out. When it comes to television, I don't need announcers. I need announcers for radio, but I don't need announcers for television.
Right.
We have so many graphics on TV. Maybe I would like to hear the crowd, the public address, and the music.
I don't need announcers for television broadcasts of sporting events.
Yeah, these athletes are getting on my last nerves, especially Trent Dilfer, man. How that guy has a job in that company is ridiculous.
Okay, but let me ask...
He wasn't even a great quarterback. Yes, he won a Super Bowl. If it wasn't for Ray Lewis, would this schmuck would ever win a Super Bowl?
No.
Now he's the expert for quarterbacks? Come on.
Listen, do you need Mike Tirico and John Gruden to tell you what's going on during a game? I don't. I have graphics. Just give me the sound of the stadium. Nothing against them personally, but give me the sound of the stadium.
So you're old school. Now. You're old school like that, you know. You're old school like that.
But does it make you feel like you're at the game?
Yeah, I know.
Correct.
That's why I liked hanging out in the press box up in Kansas City with the windows open, because then you can hear the game.
Yeah, and then sneak into the umpire's clubhouse.
Yeah. Hey, on that note, we're getting the flock out of here. I want to thank everybody for hanging out with us today. I hope you had fun. I know we did, too. We'll be back tomorrow for another edition of Sports World Radio. Until then, my friends, remember, you only have one life to live. Live it long, live it strong, and live it proud. And please don't forget, life may suck, but the alternative is unacceptable.
Amen.
Peace out, everybody. For Josh Lopez, Frank Sprankle, I'm Jeff Escow. This has been Sports World Radio.
Shut up, Skip.
Thanks for listening to Sports World Radio with your hosts, Jeff Escow and Sean Mann. Online at SportsWorldRadio.com. Sports World Radio, the equal opportunity ripper. We'll catch you next time.